Las Vegas. The city that never sleeps. Neon lights flicker across the desert sky, music blasts from open doors of nightclubs, and the Mirage Casino glows like a golden fortress on the Strip. To the tourists, it is paradise. To Jack Turner, it is hell. He sat inside his dusty sedan parked across the street, fingers tapping nervously on the steering wheel. Once, he had worn a badge. Once, he believed in rules. But tonight, there were no rules, only survival. His phone buzzed in the silence. Unknown number. He pressed accept. A distorted voice, low and menacing, filled his ear. "You want to see your wife alive? Walk into the Mirage Casino. Sit at table 7. Win. If you lose, she dies." The line went dead. Jack froze, the sound still echoing in his skull. He whispered her name, Maya, and for a moment, the world outside his car seemed to vanish. His wife was in danger, and the only weapon he had left was the skill he had sworn he would never use again: cards. Jack pushed open the car door and stepped onto the Strip. The hot desert air mixed with cigarette smoke and perfume. Every step toward the Mirage felt heavier, as if the ground itself resisted him. The casino doors swung open, flooding him with light and sound. Laughter, cheers, the metallic ring of slot machines, the clatter of dice. To strangers it was excitement. To Jack it was noise, chaos, designed to distract. He walked straight past the tables of blackjack, roulette, and baccarat until he saw it, table 7. 6 players sat already, their eyes like daggers. Some looked calm, others calculating, but none looked friendly. And at the far end of the table was a man Jack recognized instantly, Victor Kane. Slick suit, perfect tie, a glass of whiskey in his hand. The king of this empire. Victor raised his glass with a thin smile. "Welcome, Jack. We've been waiting." Jack didn't reply. He pulled the chair out and sat down, trying to steady his breathing. His mind screamed to demand Maya's location, but he knew better. Victor never gave anything for free. If Jack wanted answers, he had to play. The dealer began to shuffle, the cards whispering against each other like blades. Jack watched carefully, scanning every movement, every face at the table. The first hand came. Jack played cautiously, folding quickly, watching patterns. But when he finally bluffed with a weak pair, a heavy-set man across the table called him instantly. Jack swallowed. Coincidence? Maybe. The next hand came. Jack raised strong, bluffing again. Another player, this time a young woman with cold eyes, snapped, calling him without hesitation. She flipped her cards. She was right again. Jack's stomach sank. No, this isn't luck. He wiped sweat from his brow. They know. They already know my hand before I even play it. Victor leaned forward, resting his elbows on the table. His voice cut through the noise. This isn't a game of luck anymore, Jack. It's a game of focus. Focus only on your target, or watch your family disappear. The dealer dealt again, the room suddenly colder. Jack felt his phone buzz under the table. Slowly, he checked it. His heart stopped. A photo of Maya, tied to a chair, duct tape across her mouth, eyes wide with terror. His hands trembled. He shoved the phone back into his pocket, chest pounding. The dealer slid him 2 cards. Jack looked down. Pocket aces. The strongest starting hand in poker. Normally, a gift. Tonight, a curse. Because every move he made was already in someone else's hands. The table stared at him, waiting. The city of luck watched in silence. And Jack Turner knew, the real game had just begun, the weight of the cards pressed heavy in Jack's hands. Pocket aces. The strongest start. But tonight, he couldn't trust strength. 6 faces stared at him across the green felt, calm and sharp, as if they already knew what he was holding. His throat was dry, his pulse unsteady. Somewhere beyond these walls, Maya's life ticked away with every passing second. Victor Kane swirled the whiskey in his glass, his eyes never leaving Jack. "Play your hand, Turner. Or don't. Either way, the game ends tonight." Jack raised the bet, forcing himself to sound confident. The other players called without hesitation, as if the game had been rehearsed. Every bluff failed, every strong hand beaten. With each loss, the pile of chips in front of him shrank, and the timer on his phone kept buzzing, 29 minutes and 54 seconds. Less than half an hour left. His wife's life was slipping away. And then it struck him, this wasn't just luck. Someone was feeding his cards to the table. But who? The dealer? The players? His eyes darted across their faces, searching for a signal. Victor only smiled. Finally, Victor leaned in, voice cutting through the haze. "You still don't see it, do you? The traitor isn't at the table." Jack's chest tightened. He looked down at the phone. The messages, the strange calls, the countdowns. His breath caught as Victor delivered the final blow, "Your wife, Jack. Maya isn't just the prize. She's the bait. She's been playing you all along." The words sliced through him. Maya, his anchor, his reason for everything. Had she betrayed him? Flashes of her late-night calls, the way she pushed him back into poker, the lies he ignored, they all came flooding back. His hands shook, rage boiling inside him. But this wasn't the time to collapse. If he broke now, Maya was gone forever, guilty or not. The dealer slid the next hand. Jack looked down. A worthless pair, nothing that could win. Victor raised his brow, amused. "Win this hand, Turner. Or fold, and leave knowing you were a fool from the start." Jack inhaled deeply. If they knew his cards, strength was useless. The only weapon left was unpredictability. He shoved every chip into the center of the table. All in. The room went silent. One by one, the players folded until only Victor remained. Bravery or stupidity, Victor smirked, tossing his chips forward. Sometimes they look the same. The cards hit the felt. Jack's garbage hand against Victor's full house. The crowd gasped. Victor chuckled, raising his glass, certain of victory. But Jack's expression didn't falter. He leaned forward, his voice low and steady. "You forgot one thing, Kane. I stopped playing your game 10 minutes ago." Alarms blared across the casino. Every monitor on the wall flashed red. Victor's smirk vanished as federal agents stormed in, weapons raised. Players scattered in panic. In the chaos, Victor was slammed against the table and cuffed. Jack stood slowly, slipping on his jacket. He never looked back. Outside, the desert air stung his face. Relief and exhaustion mixed in his chest. A black SUV pulled up, and the back door opened. Maya stepped out, her face pale, her eyes full of something Jack couldn't read, fear, guilt, or both. For a long moment, they stared at each other in silence. Finally, she whispered, "I had no choice, Jack. They would have killed me if I didn't play along." Jack's jaw tightened. He couldn't tell if it was truth, or just another bluff. The strip glowed behind them, alive with lights and lies. In Las Vegas, no one ever really knows the hand you're holding.